Nnamdi Kanu has filed a 22-ground appeal at the Abuja Court of Appeal, challenging the life sentence imposed on him by the Federal High Court. This appeal is not a routine legal filing. It is a comprehensive attempt to dismantle the federal government's case from its very foundation, legally, constitutionally, and procedurally. At the heart of this appeal is a simple but powerful argument that no matter how serious an allegation may appear, justice must still follow due process. And where due process is violated, the entire case collapses. One of the strongest pillars of Kanu's appeal is the issue of jurisdiction. His legal team argues that the Federal High Court lacked the proper jurisdiction to try him, especially considering the manner in which he was brought before the court. Jurisdiction is not a technicality. It is the lifeblood of any valid trial. Without it, every proceeding, every ruling, and every sentence becomes legally void. Closely tied to this is the matter of extraordinary rendition. Kanu was not extradited to any known legal process. Instead, he was forcibly returned to Nigeria in a manner that allegedly violated international law, Nigerian law, and multiple treaties Nigeria is a signatory to. Courts across the world have held that when a defendant is brought before a court through illegal means, the court must decline jurisdiction. The appeal argues that Nigeria cannot benefit from an illegality and still claim justice. Another major fault line in the federal government's position is the issue of disobedience to court orders. Prior to his rearrest, multiple courts had granted Kanu bail. Those orders were never lawfully set aside before his rearrest and detention. In constitutional democracies, court orders are not suggestions, they are commands. When the state itself disregards them, it weakens its moral and legal authority to prosecute anyone. The appeal also challenges the admissibility of evidence relied upon by the prosecution. Statements allegedly made by Kanu were obtained under questionable circumstances, without proper legal safeguards, and in violation of his right to counsel. Nigerian law is clear. Statements obtained under duress or in violation of constitutional rights are inadmissible. If those statements are excluded, the prosecution's case becomes dangerously thin. Another crucial ground of appeal centers on the charge itself. The defense argues that the alleged acts attributed to Kanu do not meet the legal threshold for terrorism under Nigerian law. Political speech, advocacy, and self-determination, no matter how uncomfortable, are not automatically terrorism. Democracies are tested not by how they protect popular speech, but by how they handle dissenting voices. There is also the issue of selective prosecution. The appeal highlights inconsistencies in how the federal government applies its laws. Similar rhetoric and actions by other groups within Nigeria have not attracted the same level of prosecution or punishment. Selective justice is no justice at all. And appellate courts take this issue seriously because it goes to the heart of equal protection under the law. Procedural irregularities during trial form another significant portion of the 22 grounds. From rushed proceedings to limitations placed on the defense, the appeal argues that Kanu was denied a fair hearing, a right guaranteed by Section 36 of the Nigerian Constitution. A trial that is fast but unfair is not justice. It is merely efficient injustice. So, can Nnamdi Kanu make headway at the Court of Appeal? Yes, and for several reasons. First, appellate courts are less influenced by political pressure and more guided by cold legal principles. They are not concerned with popularity or optics. They are concerned with whether the law was properly applied. Second, the cumulative weight of 22 grounds of appeal increases the likelihood that at least one substantial issue will succeed. Appeals are often won not by emotional arguments, but by pinpointing a single fatal error. This case presents multiple potential fatal errors. Third, Nigerian appellate courts have a strong history of overturning convictions where jurisdiction, fair hearing, or constitutional rights were breached. Precedents matter, and this appeal is anchored heavily on precedent. Even if the Court of Appeal does not discharge and acquit Kanu outright, there are other realistic outcomes. The conviction could be quashed, the sentence reduced, or the case ordered for retrial under proper legal conditions. Each of these outcomes significantly weakens the federal government's current position. What this appeal ultimately represents is not just a legal battle for one man, but a test of Nigeria's commitments to the rule of law. Governments are powerful, but the law is supposed to be stronger. As the appeal unfolds, one truth remains unavoidable. When due process is ignored, justice becomes vulnerable. And when justice is vulnerable, even the strongest sentences can fall. The Abuja Court of Appeal now holds the balance between power and principle, between politics and law, and between punishment and justice.